Today we're learning the classic song Wild World, a song famously written about the cutthroat lava lamp industry of the 1960s, and it sounds something like this. Now there's a couple of parts, so I'm kind of just getting to the main part here. So we've got a few different things we're going to go over here, right? That's just the gist of it. We're going to go through all the different parts. I think this is an excellent song to learn because it has an interesting chord progression. This switches it up a little bit. It's a great way to start incorporating a few lead riffs and hammer-ons into your chords, and it's just a fun one to talk about. Now, today I'm going to be using the Donner acoustic guitar. They sent me this one. This is under $150. Check it out in the link below, because if maybe you're just an electric player or you just need an acoustic guitar, it seems pretty awesome for less than $150. It's ridiculous how inexpensive these are, right? So we have two main parts of this song. Again, total classic, definitely know how to play it. And it starts with an A minor chord. Okay, we're going to learn a little bit about chord efficiency on top of all this, as far as just changing chords. It's going to help you out with songs above and beyond this. All right, now I'm using a pick. You don't have to. You can use your fingers. Either way. We're going to establish the song first with just an open A string. I'm playing it 2 times, then I'm getting into an A minor chord. Pointer finger is first fret on the B string, ring finger is the second fret on the G string, middle finger is the second fret on the D string. Okay, so we established the chord with a, and then maybe like a down, down, up count. 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Okay? So you can think of this as down and up, it's like down, 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 up. I like to think of it as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and. All right? And from here, we're going to switch to a D7 chord. Okay? Now, a really easy way to do this is just think of your pointer finger as kind of being able to pivot on that. So you keep your pointer finger down, and then you just move your ring finger to the high E string and your middle finger to the G string, just down a string. All of the fingers stay on the same fret. They're just kind of moving like this. Now, sometimes you'll see me maybe lift up the whole chord, but until you do that, really just kind of focus on that pivot on that first fret of the B string. A minor to D7, okay? After this, we're gonna go to a G major chord. Now, I like playing this one where my ring finger is the bass note, the 3rd fret on the low E string. Middle finger is still kind of staying in its 2nd fret position, just going to the A string. And then now my pinky's coming down on the 3rd fret of the B string. Okay, so I personally think this is the most efficient way to play this G chord in the context of this song. That's why it's interesting, like, you learn a G chord, maybe you learn it like this, but it's a little difficult to get from this A minor to D7, then quickly go there. I think it's easier to do it that way. But again, however you want to do it, whatever's easiest for you, that's what it's all about. I'm just kind of sharing my philosophy on it and the way that I kind of move around the fretboard. And also another reason that this is nice is because we can really switch to the next chord, which is C major, by keeping your ring finger where it was, okay? So it was the root note of a G chord. Now we're moving your pinky up to the A string, same fret it was on. Your middle finger is still chilling on the 2nd fret, but now it's to the D string, and then your pointer finger goes down to the 1st fret of the B string to make a C/G chord, which means it's just a C major chord, but with the G in the bass. I'll link you to the Ultimate Guitar chord sheet if you want to follow along with that too, just in case, right? But let's take this as just a group of 4 chords first. A minor, D7, G, C. A minor, D7, G, C. Okay, now you'll notice that a lot of times I'm striking that root note to kind of establish A minor, D7. You can do the whole thing like that, just as good practice. Root, chord, D7, G, C. Again, this is whatever vibe you're looking for. This is just kind of like the outline of the song and a good way to start establishing where your bass note is versus where compared to the root note of the chord. All this stuff is going to help you out in other songs beyond just this. All right? So, again, A minor to D7 to G, major to C. Now the reason I love this C/G chord voicing, aside from just giving us a fuller C major sound than just maybe this, is because when you play it like this with your ring finger on 3E, your pinky on 3A, your middle finger on 2D, and your pointer finger on 1B, it's very easy to go to an F major by keeping your pointer finger locked in, just like we did at the beginning, and then moving the rest of your fingers down to F major. If you get the open E string in there, ends up being an F major 7, no big deal. But this is basically going to be the F major that we're using, all right? So the next step after that, A minor to D, 7 to G, to C, to F, D minor. And again, if you see my hands, that's pretty efficient movement there using these particular chord voicings. The D minor is just going to be 1 E, 3B with your pinky, 2 G with your pointer finger. Again, the middle finger right there has just been chilling on the 2nd fret the whole time. Again, efficiency is really a great way to think about maybe improving the speed of your chords, which is why this is an excellent song just for you to learn no matter what kind of skill level you're at, because it helps with the efficiency in a cool, fun, interesting way that isn't just the same chords repeated over and over again. Again, just watch the middle finger. A minor, D, G, C, F, D minor, E major's next. And then we have a little riff on this E, right? So again, if we split it into 2 parts of 4 chords each, the first one, A minor, D7, G, C. The second one, F, D minor, E, and then E suspended, which again, E major is just 2 A middle finger, 2 D ring finger, 1 G pointer finger. E suspended 4 is taking your pinky and just coming on and off that 2nd fret of the G string. Now, one thing I like to do is do this little riff where it's like, and then, well, without hitting the open strings, 1, 2, 4 on that G string, right? Or you could just go to kind of get the feel for it. Again, you know, it's your interpretation. This is just the way I played it. Posting a video performing this with Kindred shortly after this video goes up, so stay tuned for that. But yeah. So that's the whole first round. The second round is the same except for that very last part. So start chunking these chord groupings in together into groups of 4, I think is the easiest way to do it. So the second time around, or before we go to the chorus, A minor, D, everything is the same, G, C, F, D, go to the E, but instead of doing the riff, we go to a G chord or a G7. I think G7 is a better way to do it. Again, just like before, everything is the same except now your pointer finger is grabbing the 1st fret on the high E string. In fact, you can play a much easier version of G7 by just holding that 1st fret down and strumming the bottom 4 strings. Just kind of build that tension. A G7 is its focus, its job in a song is to create dissonance to be resolved on the chord after that, which is always going to be home base. Now we're on the C major chord for the chorus, right? Really great chorus, very simple, and this is where it actually gets kind of fun because we're going to start introducing a little bit of riffs in these, right? So we've got a C to a G to an F. Then the iconic run down this kind of little scale thing, right? So again, C, G, F. Same voicings we used the first time around because again, it's super efficient. And then after we get to that F, we're gonna fill the second part of that up with this little run. It's really easy to do and it sounds fantastic. 1st fret, if you come from the chord voicing, 1st fret on the B string, open, G string 2, open, D string 3, 2, open to the C on the A string, the 3rd fret. So I'm just gonna go, I'm gonna say the frets that the fingers are on, descending. 1, open, 2, open, 3, 2, open, 3. And that lands us on a G major chord, which is gonna be the next chord that we do the whole thing, right? So here's the whole thing again. then the run G to an F to a C, and then another really iconic riff, which is again super simple, and it follows where the chord voicing is. All right, so I've got my ring finger, I'm doing this C/G chord. Another great reason to do this kind of different chord voicing than just having a root position C right here is because we're gonna go 3 E twice, open A, 3 A 3 times, open A again, 3 E. And again, you can just do the whole thing by lifting the whole chord kind of up and down. So we have two riffs that we're incorporating with kind of fun open chords. The great thing is, because it can be kind of, you can play this a couple different ways. It can be kind of tricky just to always get just the strings that you're trying to pick. So the cool thing is you can actually strum through it with like the whole string set, right? And it sounds like you're getting the gist of it, but you're not on an island trying to hit those every time. You don't have to worry about always hitting just the string that you're going for. As long as you're within the chord shape, it's going to sound fine, all right? So again, after, we'll do the whole verse real quick, or the chorus real quick. So we've got C to G to F, and then it's descending, walk down through that little mini scale thing to the G to F to C/G, then the other riff. And then that jumps right back into C to G to F. Back to the same thing again, right? G, F to C. Now when you transition back, D minor, E. And then we go back to the verse. So this is cool because it's another lesson in just being able to transition between parts smoothly, all right? It would sound fine going right back to the verse from that last part. So again, this is the verse without the riff. Then we go back to the chorus like that. But it doesn't sound as smooth. So what we're gonna do after we have this, the chorus, and we're transitioning back to the verse, we're gonna hit him with a quick D minor, E major. And the reason we do this is because we're setting up going back to A minor. So the verses are you could kind of see the verses as being in the key of A minor, as compared to the chorus as being in the key of C. I just think the whole thing is in the key of C, right? Is how I would say it. But you can make the argument that A minor is the tonal center for the verses, right? So to get back to that A minor, if A minor is home, we have to do what we did earlier. Remember when we had that G7 that went to C? We can do the same thing to target A minor. And the way you always target a chord that you get to, if you want to make a different transition, is you have to count 5 notes away from that chord scale. So in the key of A minor, it'd be A, B, C, D, E. Turn that into, you can just use that as a major chord or a dominant 7 chord, and that's always going to push your progression back to where you're going. So again, in the chorus, right? C, G, F, and then the riff. G, F, C. I want to target A minor, so I'm going to hit him with a D to a E, and then that goes to A. And then we start the whole thing over again from the beginning, right? To C, to F, D minor, to E. You can do the suspended one or back. A minor. The second time, do you remember what's different about this second one? F, D minor. I want to target that C chord, so I go to a G7. And that sets up the C chord, all right? So, really, that's the entire song. Incredible song just to learn, if you haven't tried it again, just for the reasons I've described. It's an interesting chord progression that uses a lot of chords. You can practice your chord efficiency with it, as far as just kind of like choosing the right chord voicings that are gonna help you switch faster. You get to start incorporating riffs through kind of mini scales that are part of the chords, but you can see them as their own riffs or lead playing or whatever. And also talking about different transitions to get back and forth between different parts. So there's a lot to be learned from this song. That's why I wanted to use it as an example. Yeah, so let me know if you have any questions. Definitely check out this Downer acoustic guitar. Again, for under $150, you really can't go wrong. And then if you want to learn more stuff like this, check out some of the master classes that I've made, because a few of them are on sale. So make sure to check out all the links below. And then, like I said, if you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comment section, Instagram, Twitter, or the website. I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks a lot.